Guys, they might be for real. This team, the third seed out of China that most British people know from soccer, might actually be about to win Masters Toronto. Now, this isn't a joke. I'm not trolling. They just beat my pick to win the whole thing, which was Gen G in a 2-0. But are they actually for real? Are these just lucky games? Are they taking advantage of some weakness? Are they very good at anti-stratting? Let's go ahead and find out today. Now, I'm very weak. I'm a weak little boy with 6,000 subscribers. So go ahead and get me to 10K so I can be a big, strong, buff man. And let's get into it. Now, Gen G have dominated them up until this point. It's 4-0, and to be quite honest with you, I thought it would go the same way that I expected the game to go at first. Gen G, go ahead and come back. But that's not going to be the case here. First off, I really like this trip. They're playing Cypher on Sunset. First off, this mid trip as well, something you absolutely need to have. I don't care if you're in ranked. If you are in ranked and playing Cypher on Sunset, number one, get some flow stay with code Lions, link in description. But number two, I want this trip up mid so that you don't have to worry about it until this is broken. And then number two, this info trip right here, it's honestly really good. He has the old one ways as well. Even though he's 0-4, he's playing remarkably well so far. He's gotten you information. You know no one's up mid in this area, and I'm assuming Dora's close, so you're also fine there. Now, I honestly thought Juicy was just going to nuts out, swing into main, and try and get his. They don't do that. Instead, after getting orb, Gen G cut noise and wait, and it does its job here. Yoru is drifting away slightly over here. Raze is still glued to this top mid spot. Now, the execute as well isn't something that's an issue. In fact, Gen G get the advantage on this execute. The retake is something I definitely want to talk about. Now, they use this deadlock comp very well. That was literally just a random kill. He just swings with his nuts out and says, I'm going to kill you, and you can't do anything about it. But deadlock ult gets the pick. Now 4v3. But I just said something about nuts out. And A, if you don't know what that is, it's literally swinging because you feel like it, kind of off a timing that you feel innately, not off of any necessarily information. But Wolves do an entire execute based on that, just completely disrespecting Gen G. And what I mean by that is Gen G have a decent post-plant setup. Now, it would probably be better if someone was main, but they want to go ahead and double up with everyone, have everyone swing off with some, which I really like, by the way. But it just doesn't work out. So a lot of this is going to be minimap based, so I apologize. No disrespect to the observers. It's a very difficult job. There's no way to know Wolves are going to swing this, but Raze gets this kill. This kill is untradeable, right? Because the reason that you are right here as the Sova player from Gen G is you expect someone to be swinging from upper where the Sova is. So he swings, you take first contact right here, and then the deadlock, who is now dead, swings out, helps, gets the kill. But they don't expect Wolves to come from there. Karen does a little whiff here, and suddenly this advantageous, not only a 4v3, but a 4v3 with deadlock utility goes to the side of Wolves. And then, of course, they stand up. They get their aura farming in, right? You've got an aura farm. They've even got a chant. By the way, 75 comments. I'll do the chant on my next video, but they've got a whole chant. It's incredible. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Wolves did not have a good time on defense here. It was honestly quite bad here. Texture, who is still the best duelist in the world, if you have any other opinion, please comment it. I would love to hear your reasoning. But Texture did well. However, they were able to win a couple of rounds. Now, it's very difficult to retake against this deadlock comp, but there's something more I want to point out. Cypher right here has seen all of this utility, all of this, and his teammates are thinking about fast flanking. Sue them, bro. Do something. Do not let this stand. Let them know, please, man, that this is unacceptable. Anyways, he's going to be able to get that first kill. Then, boom, boom, 5v3 situation. Again, Texture, best duelist in the world. 5v4 scenario. I love the Yoru coming out, and then they just do very well in the retake. I mentioned before that it's very difficult to retake against a deadlock. You cannot let a deadlock get fully set up and ready and expect to win a lot of the retakes. I think that was also a reason that they did pretty poorly on defense compared to attack. Obviously, the double duelist comp will play into that as well, but 6-2. I mentioned flow state earlier, and if you don't know what that is, just give me like 30 seconds and I'll explain it. So it is marketed as something that's a G Fuel type of thing that will not make you crash, right? Then I thought that had to be a scam. That did not make sense to me. Something that could be caffeinated. They have decaffeinated versions as well, but caffeine that won't make you crash did not make sense to me. Then they sent some out. I tried it and I was like, wow, that worked. Okay, but maybe I'm different. So I went looking for negative reviews. I encourage you, go look for negative reviews. You will not find any. Then come back, click the link in the description, use code Lions for 10% off so that you can start winning your ranked games and be completely focused with no crash. Thank you. Let's get back to the video. Now, Gen G are going to lose this round, and Wolves do what I think is the best way to beat this comp, the most sustainable way at the very least, and that is don't let them plant, right? Deadlock thrives in the post plant. We saw those Cypher Deadlock comps on Ascent. We saw how terrible they were to play against. You do not want to let Gen G in the post plant, so Wolves don't here. Wonderful job here. They have the Viper Wall over towards B, and they didn't even care. Right? Literally had two people here, Raze at the same spot he was, and then two people over on A. Yoru is actually TP'd over here. This Viper Wall is not doing what Gen G wanted to, which is pull rotations and make them think, oh my goodness, they're going here because the Viper Wall is here. That's not going to happen at the pro level most of the time. I am very interested to see how much of that is VODing, right? And seeing, okay, Gen G went here with the Viper Wall this amount of times and here with the Viper Wall this amount of times. Okay, and now they don't. I don't know how Wolves are prepping for that, but this swing is a bit just because you're swinging into two people without utility. Now, obviously, you can't know that. It just doesn't do well. Foxy9 goes 1 for 1, but yeah, I mean, that smoke probably should have came out. It just all seems a bit uncoordinated, really, because if your smoke is there, you're not going to die. Then it's a 4v4. Instead, Wolves literally just shut down the entire thing. Ash is trying his best, but it's a 1v4 scenario here. Not much to do. Go ahead, subscribe to Lionzblade. There's a wolf, an owl outside. So that means you should subscribe somehow. Next round. Wolves were able to do a lot better on the attacking side, though. In fact, they won the game off of it. But let's go ahead and take a look at this pistol round. So there's this Yoru clone that gets sent out immediately here, and it does a wonderful job at faking presence there later in the round. Actually, you could argue wins them this round. Here's why. Deadlock is solo holding B. They trust him to do that, right? That wall on pistol is such a pain to break that you're okay with it. But notice, no one is rotating over to help him. Nobody, even with all the gunshots heard, even with this, no one is rotating over because that Yoru clone causes them to want to re-clear a main, right? Now, someone who, didn't see that Yoru clone might think, oh, why are they not rotating? Blah, 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 blah. It's because of that clone. It causes them to forces them to re-clear this space. Then they're able to go, which forces Deadlock to go ahead, play retake. He ends up dying, right? He's in a spot here where he can be seen. He doesn't know he can be seen. He ends up dying. Bang. 5v4 situation, and boom, Wolves, whatever the chant is, right? They're doing it. They have won this pistol round, done a great job doing so, but then disaster strikes. They get eco. Gen G have been pretty good at pistol rounds, but also very good at ecos. So when they don't win that pistol, you still need to be very, very vigilant. Now, this first kill is you're not doing little things, right? You're not breaking those Sova darts right here, right? Where it's going to be a dart and then a reveal right here. Boom. But this is simply something that Gen G can do, that Gen G feel comfortable doing on these eco rounds, which is, I'm better than you. Let me stand up, fat nuts, slapped on the table. I'm better than you. I am going to swing through this smoke and kill two of you with a pistol because I am the superior gamer. Bow to me. Now, in a 2v3, it's still winnable for Wolves, but then he textures all over them, right? Best duelist in the world, best duelist in the game, best player in the game. Been saying this, boom, boom. That's why you buy him a Sheriff 5-9. But wait, they 2-0'd them. So how in the world did this happen? How did they come back from 5-9 losing an eco against, in my opinion, one of the best teams in the world? Well, it's pretty simple. Ecoing them back. See, after they lose this, they call a timeout, and their strat is one that I honestly love. Death ball. I think a lot more teams should do this, honestly, on defense. Obviously, they're doing it on attack here, but I like the plan of stack a site, try and get 1 or 2 if someone's lurking, and then just death ball. They take this to attack. They smoke off top mid, knowing that because you have the deadlock, there's not going to be the trip there or anything, and then just run. They run and run and run. Even with the superior weaponry here, you can't kill all 5 of them. They go 2 for 2, but this isn't any normal 2 for 2. This 2 for 2 sets Wolves up in a post plant where 2 of them have guns now. And then 1 is able to play off site. Man, but come on, he has a classic. Why would you be worried about the guy main with the classic? We need to focus on these guys with the guns, ready to kill Gen G. But again, texture. He is insane, and even outlawing into a retake, in my opinion, like one of the hardest guns to retake with, he doesn't care. He's just going to get the kills because they don't have shields. They full saved. So 1 shot, bang, gets the kill on someone not looking. 1 for 1, and oh, it's the guy main with the classic. Well, we may as well give it up.
But a 1v2 now called upon. CFFD only has the classic. Oh my god. Wait, this is doable. This is so doable. Ash.
Ash is taking it. He's got a half.
But he's got the drone.
I was just watching my face cam back from that. That genuinely was probably the funniest thing I've ever seen. I hope someone can make it a GIF in my Discord. Anyways, they do this cam up here for early info. I really like it, actually. Make sure you can tell no one's pushed up, and then they TP over towards mid. But this Viper wall right here has a pretty big flaw that I'm going to, well, it's going to be shown to you guys, and I'll explain what it is in a second here. But they go back into a B split, right? You're running into two people. It is the deadlock setup and the wall, the sensors, all that, but you're not too worried about it once you get this kind of initial space into here, because now deadlock's crunch. You're trying to make it a three-way crunch back here, here, and here, but it gets broken. Now, this kill, you might be thinking, oh, the Viper wall went on. No, Ray's satcheled up, and I'll show you guys in the replay. He satchels up and gets this kill because there's a little box main now. Foxy9 had no idea that A, you could do that, and B, that it would happen. This Viper wall in his mind is, okay, we're fine. We're clear, right? I'm Viper wall. They can't kill me. Well, the first blood gets gotten by Wolves because of that mistake. Sova ult doesn't do anything. Then you lose that 1v1, and now 3v5 retake. Good on Karen here for trying to get entrenched into the site, trying to stop something, but then the Cypher ult is going to make that very difficult, and then boom. Yeah, Wolves win this round, but you do still need to be cautious, right? Even though the Sova ult was burned here, they're going to be able to buy up a couple more times before you win the game. You have to stop that from happening. Here's the replay that I wanted to show you guys. He satchels up in the box, gets the kill there. Very smart. Now, Gen G get textures op online, and they do what you should do when you have an op online. Stack the other site, make them choose. Do you want to go into the op, or do you want to go into the site with 3 players? Now, there is the risk here, which is obviously mid is completely open. If they had chosen to take that route, the round may have looked way different. They did lose it regardless, so who knows? But Yoru here full blinds himself. Generally not the optimal play in my humble opinion, but hey, he's the pro, what do I know? But with this deadlock ult, it's popped here and completely clears out main, right? I think an underrated part of the deadlock and Raze ults is how much space they can gain, right? People will see a Raze rocket like be popped and they go into the site and everyone runs away and they don't get any kills and it's like, oh, it's a wasted ult. No, it's not. It got you the entire site for free. Regardless, they then regroup. Notice texture here with this op. He doesn't want to break this trip, and this is why I do think that tripping the opposite site can be very, very valuable, right? If your economy is very good, I even recommend, as they're doing here, tripping both because the economy is good, because it makes people choose, right? You can either shoot this and they have the info, okay, someone's pushed out B main, or you can passively control this space. Can texture hypothetically run all the way around to mid and then flank you from here and then he's stopped by this trip? I mean, yeah, but why? Doesn't gain him anything. It's very good passive info for the 200 credits that it is. Regardless, these players immediately are kind of screwed, right, in this position, and boom. 5v4 because Karen gets caught on the TP. Foxy9 is, I mean, good luck, right? Trying to defend that. And in the 5v3, an underrated part of something I just haven't talked about, not underrated, Munchkin out of Judge. Yeah, good luck retaking with that one, bud. In conclusion, because this video is already a lot longer than my normal ones, I was being a little silly during it. I was having some fun. Let me know if that's something you like. It's a bit different than my normal style, but in conclusion, yes, this team is for real, and they are honestly pretty scary. A lot of the strategy that they bring is very well thought out, and again, this double duelist comp right here with the Yoru could still be taking over, right? A lot of teams kind of abandoned it after the Teo meta, right? Some didn't, but some moved towards more of the Viper that you've seen already. So it's very interesting to see what will end up winning out. Wolves are definitely a serious contender that you need to take seriously, and I hope you like this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you stuck around this long, and I'll see you next time. Peace.